My name is Marie McCarthy and I'm the store manager here with LloydsPharmacy in Blackrock, and my beauty background really comes into effect while working in a pharmacy. Eczema is a common problem that occurs for a lot of people. It's an inflammation on the skin's surface. It can become it's generally very dry, itchy, flaky. If it gets infected by bacteria then as well, it can become weepy and infected. So the causes of eczema, it can be hereditary. Sometimes in children, they are born with it, they inherit it from their mothers. Other times then it can be from triggers. So it might be using products that would be very high fragrance with a lot of parabens, a lot of perfume in them. They would irritate the skin. Hay fever sufferers sometimes get eczema. Dust, bacteria on the skin, anything like that would really just act as a trigger for eczema, and they can get flare-ups. It's not curable, but it's manageable. So that's where your products come into it then. So psoriasis, normally people renew their skin cells every 21 to 28 days. But with psoriasis, unfortunately, their skin starts to renew itself every 2 or 3 days, which leads to a build-up of the skin cells on one particular area. Commonly, it's found on the back of the elbows, back of the knees, sometimes on their lower back as well. It builds up like almost a plaque then of dead skin cells, and they look like silvery dead skin cells on the surface of the skin, and so it can be quite hard and quite rough. It can be very itchy. It's very susceptible to bacteria, so it can get infected quite easily. So again, managing it is really crucial, and good skin hygiene is really important. So rosacea tends to be a flare-up on the skin surface on the face. It generally tends to appear around the cheek area. A lot of triggers as well would irritate rosacea. So alcohol, wind burn, sun exposure, heat going from hot to cold, those all act as triggers. Some spicy foods as well, they would all act as triggers. And what happens is the capillaries, there's a rush of blood to the surface of the skin, and normally when people blush, it comes to the surface and then it disappears. But unfortunately with rosacea, it tends to stay there. The capillary walls are very fragile, so they tend to break, and it leads to the bleeding then on the skin surface, and that's why you see a cluster then of redness in one particular area. Yes, there are some really good products that we recommend to help keep these conditions under control, but also to actually help repair the skin. We'd recommend the Dermalex range, and it's a really good product because it's a steroid-free product. It's free from artificial ingredients, fragrances and parabens, but it also protects the skin. It acts as a barrier and also helps restore the skin's soft suppleness while treating the actual condition as well. But there's one specifically for each range. There's one for eczema, plus eczema is on babies and children. There's one for psoriasis, and there's also one for rosacea. So it has a really good overall product line that is actually able to treat the condition. Yes, you can get your skin assessed at LloydsPharmacy. There's skin specialists in every store, so if you just pop in, we'd be able to meet your individual needs and wants.